What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. So today is a very interesting video. I'm flipping the script around a little bit, but I promise it's going to be extremely helpful, maybe even more helpful than ever to you when it comes to your arm development. Because here's what happened. Jesse walked in today into the office wearing his tank top, but noticeably his arms were definitely noticeably bigger. And it hasn't just happened overnight. I just don't see him walk in every day in a tank top. And what I said to him was, dude, your arms are definitely, I give him compliments, guys, I promise you. And I said, you're getting bigger. If you could change something, or if you knew of the things that I've shown you, because I don't babysit him, I don't take him through every workout despite what you might think. I try to give him the tools as I do you, and I let him go off and try to make the most out of it, because it's ultimately the best way to have success. I said, if there's 5 things that you could change, or that you knew earlier about your arm training, what would they be? And he was able to rattle them off like immediately, because he knew exactly what they were. So what I wanted to do was I told him, dude, this is good information that they're going to be able to benefit from, so let's go film a video. So that's where we are right now. There's 5 things. Jesse, what is number 1, the first thing you told me that helped you in terms of getting better gains?
Intensity. Changing my intensity up was the biggest thing I've ever done for my arm training in general. Before it was, I'd get to fatigue and I'd kind of stop right there. Like, that's enough. Now, using drop sets and pause reps especially, I'm able to up my intensity, and I feel like that's upped my gains a lot. I mean, guys, don't get me wrong, I've got small arms right now, but
they're getting better.
They're getting better, but to start with, they were way smaller. Like now, I've added at least an inch or 2 to them,
right.
And that to me, that's something I'm very proud of, and I think I owe a lot of that to the intensity of my workouts now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've measured them lately, but they're probably bigger than 12 inches. But the fact is this, guys, using even here, as you see him doing the rest pause technique, anything that I could use to get him to train harder, to realize that hitting the first hard portion of an exercise is not the stopping point. Not if you want to see gains. You have to be able and willing to mentally push yourself so that physically you're giving your body a stimulus to grow. The next thing, I asked him, what's the next thing that you did?
Next thing was going through full extension on the curls.
So full range of motion.
Full range of motion, yeah.
What a novel concept, guys. We've talked about it a lot here, but why was that so beneficial? Example for the curls, what were you doing wrong?
For me, I was short arming it. I was bringing the dumbbell up like this in one kind of motion, elbows locked out, and that really wasn't giving me the full extension on my biceps.
So when he's talking about this movement here, what he's doing is he's literally not really training the biceps, because the biceps function is to flex the elbow, right? Open the joint, close the joint. He's not doing that. What he's doing is basically locking it into one position and then moving the elbow in front of and behind his body, but not really making the biceps do all the work. Here he's shifting most of the load to the front delts. So by doing that one change, you saw better gains because of full range of motion and a better stimulus throughout the range of motion.
100%.
Great. Now the next thing, what's another thing that you did?
Next thing was I implemented the static hold up on the chin-up bar.
So one of the best exercises, guys, that I've shown you here before, it's been my secret weapon since probably the time I was a little kid, is the static bicep chin hold. So you can see Jesse doing this here. It is not easy, and all you have to do is put yourself up in position at the top of a chin-up, and you really try to contract your biceps as hard as possible. So you're not just hanging here, you're literally trying to flex, right?
Yeah, you're contracting it as hard as you can.
So what the advantage here of why this works so well, guys, is we talk about putting the science behind the strength here. You're not just bending the elbow here, which is one function of the biceps. You're not just supinating by having the underhand grip, but you're also getting that peak contraction of the biceps by having shoulder flexion as a component of the other two. And now he's in this position and trying to fight it for as long as possible, not to mention the eccentric hold here, the eccentric lengthening. Again, another major stimulus for the overload necessary for creating growth.
Right.
What's next? Number 4.
Next, number 4 was the rocking tricep push down.
So when it came to your tricep training, how were you doing your push downs?
Just standing straight up and down and just going, just extending right there.
So
wasn't really doing anything with that.
The issue with that, as I've covered in a video here, again, I tell you, he's a good learner, because he's been watching the videos, for crying out loud, earning his pay. The thing is, I say that because of physics here, guys, when you do a tricep push down, you can maximize the amount of force directed to the triceps throughout the entire range of motion if you're willing to move your body in space while you do them. So if you were to just stay locked in up and down as Jesse's doing here, the line of resistance, which is the cable, is staying perpendicular to his forearm only in the beginning portion of that exercise. As he goes down towards extension, it's not. It's becoming more parallel, and that means he's losing the force that the triceps have to produce to do the exercise. So what we could do to make that better is the rocking tricep push down here. Jesse has a little bit of a lack of extension in his elbow from an old lacrosse injury. He's got bone chips in the elbow, but the fact is he's going as much as he can into extension. You could probably do better. Right?
Yeah, much better.
So, but the fact is, you're trying to now, as you rock backwards, you're still allowing that line of resistance of the cable to stay perpendicular, so you're keeping that peak force on the triceps throughout the entire range. And then what was the last one? Because the last one's the one that sort of stood out to me above everything else, because it's a mental thing that I think a lot of you guys could benefit from. What was that?
The last thing was to, stop worrying about what everyone else was saying in the gym or thinking in the gym. And it was training here that really taught me that, because when I'm training here and there's no one around me and I'm not looking over my shoulder to think, oh no, someone's looking at me, I always felt that someone was saying, this kid, what is this skinny kid doing, doing curls and tricep kickbacks? He should be deadlifting and squatting. The thing was, I was doing all that.
Right, you were deadlifting, you were squatting.
I was squatting.
And my arms are 10 inches.
My arms are tiny, let's be real. So I figured, get some extra work in with them and really focus on them. And honestly, without worrying about anyone else, it's been very helpful to me, because I'm able to just focus on that without the worry of anything. I'm not too self-conscious about it. I'm not self-conscious. When I do go to the gym now, if I go to, a commercial gym, people are looking at me. It is what it is.
Right. You're not the biggest dude that walked into the gym, but you have to realize, guys, I say this all the time. Everybody starts somewhere. I started somewhere. Jesse, even before your very eyes, started somewhere. And look at the changes he's made here. You can do it, guys. You just got to change your mindset to not care about what anybody else is doing. I'm going to kind of open up another revelation too, because I know Jesse didn't necessarily mention this. I bet you that the people he thought were looking at him weren't really looking at him. I bet you they really didn't give a damn what he was doing. The thing is, we feel that. We feel the eyeballs on us because we think people are caring what we do, but everyone else is in the gym trying to do their same old damn thing. They all have their own struggles. They all have their own issues they're all trying to overcome, and they probably aren't even focused on you. So my key message is to you, regardless of whether it's your arms or anything else, stop caring about what other people say. Do what you know needs to be done, and I promise you, you're going to be in a better place even a few months from now than you are right now, just as Jesse has been able to do. So guys, I hope all of this is helpful to you, as I hope every single video is that we put together here, because again, these are a lot of the same principles that he's been learning and implementing that have been doing the trick. If you're looking for a program that puts it all together step by step, just like Jesse here, you can head to ATHLEAN-X.com and get our ATHLEAN-X training program. In the meantime, if you found the video helpful, leave your comments and thumbs up below. Let me know what you want me to cover in a future video, and I'll do my best to do that. All right, guys, see you soon.